Hey YouTube, 6 Plus here. We're back after a 2 weeks break and we're super excited for the 12.0 update, which includes a lot of improvements, and they added the level limit break for the characters. For now it's only these ones that you see that have the both improved captains and their specials. The other ones will have theirs released batch wise in the future, and currently they only have stat boost for now. And I thought I will take a quick look at these new updated units and give you my thoughts on it. And before we start, a quick shout out to Northern Tula, my boy. So you guys may already know that the old units are not very impressive as a captain. But with the new updates, they get a super impressive multiplier, an up-to-date number with a 5.25, which is some of the higher multipliers we have currently. So this white bear here he's a 4 times rainbow, and when he's below 30% or below, he's a 5.25. But the thing is, he also have the damage reduction and a 1.35 HP pool, so you have a super high effective HP to work with. So I'll definitely go and try him out. And then we have one of my most anticipated update for a character. We have V1 Boa. She was essentially dead on arrival back in the days, and when I got her on her debut, I didn't know how to use her. She was only a stat stick back in the days also, but with her new captain, she's a 5 times multiplier for both quick and side, which is very good already. Then she have the 1.2 for HP, which is fine. But then she also have quick and size slots, have matching slot effects for quick and size units, which is very useful. And she have a recovery boost, which is fine, but she also on top of that have a 20% damage reduction. So she is like super tanky and has super high recovery. And she also allows you to obtain the meat orbs when you hit the perfects, which is very impressive because this captain is rarely seen, and when a unit have it, you will know that she can sustain a lot of content with just stalling alone with her captain. Then you have the Monkey Luffy here, the time skip Luffy 6 plus. He was also kind of dead on arrival for global, at least. He came way too late, and he wasn't very impressive back then. He has like a fine multiplier, but his special was very detrimental when you get the assorted negative effects after 3 turns after using his special. Let's see his new update. So it looks like he still have that cost to his special tied to him, but he is a attack booster now, 2.5, which is super high and super good. And he also extends the attack boost if you already have an attack boost, and also increase its effect of it, which is super cool. Definitely a cool character, but yeah, we will see how useful he will be. Then we have Rayleigh here, one of the all-time most impressive units to ever be released, because how useful he was back then, and how he's still very useful. Because of his paralysis reduction of 7 turns, which is super rare. But with the new update, they decided to add on a 2 times ore boost, which is very impressive. And if you decide to use 2 of him, like if you use him as a captain, you will also have a effect that increases his slot boost by 0.3, which is fine, I guess. And as a captain, they slap on a base attack multiplier of 1.75, and the chain boost stays the same. So he matches the Dex Mihawk legend, but they also have a side, int, and tandem slot as matching, and he also recovers, which is cool. I don't think I will use him as a captain though, not my type of characters to use. Then we have the 6+ Shanks here. He was very useful back in the days, and then he kind of fell off because he didn't do anything with his special, and his captain were very bland. Let's see his captain now. He's a 5.25 with a matching and 4.5 without, which is fine, I guess. And they still have the matching or landing on side slots and heals. So I guess it's fine since he's a 5.25 attack multiplier captain. And his special, he still retains his defense to 0 for 1 turn and the nuke. And he also have the changes cures to size slot, but now he also have the boost size characters with 2.25 1 turn. And if you land 3 perfects, you get a 2.5, which is super impressive because his cooldown is only 7 turns, which is very low for what he does. So this is a super impressive character. And then one of my all-time favorite units, we have the Stronghold Ace. Because I like him so much, I already limit break expanded him since before, and with his 150 level, you will have reduce shooters with 2 turns, and he goes up to a 5.25, which is very good. Again, super high health pool. You also have strength and quick slots as matching, which is very good, I would say, because he himself as a captain will never have a bad orb. And then we have Sengoku, also one of my favorite characters. Back in the days, I haven't used him for like 5 or 6 years now, but he was my go-to captain back then. Sadly, his 6+ was not good. It was outdated because of the cost restriction. They didn't lift it to a 30 cost. But now, with his level limit break, he goes up to a 5.5 times captain and a 1.75 HP, which is very impressive. But do take note that you only have access to, like, you can use like legends and stuff, but they won't have a stat boost. But so you are like bound to non-evolved legends. You are bound to rare recruits and such. But still, I'm very excited for this update, and I think I will, since I already have a lot of dupes of him, I think I will both limit break expand him and then take him to level 150. He's special, which is note here that it's only 6 turns for what he does. He has a nuke, and he double screws specials, no, sorry, doubles cruise attack, and yeah, also booster slot. So he is very good for what he does. And then we have the Dexa here. Before he was only like 3 times captain, but now he goes up to a 5.25 if you kill any enemies the turn prior, which is very good. So they slapped on a higher, I think it's a higher, yeah, it's a higher chain boost. Yeah, so this, and he also have the affinity boost, which is very impressive. Yeah, a very solid update. And then we have Buggy here, and I'm super excited about him because he gets up to a 3 times attack now. It's low compared to the others, but for what he does and what content he's aimed at, it's very enough for what his purpose is. And they also included the new, or not new, it's like you get a ore boost for 20 turns for the characters that cost 40 or less, so all the Colosseum and Arena characters and below, which is super cool. And then on his updated specials, he gets a defense down conditional. I will see how we can apply it later on with some support. And then he still have his attack boost, but he also includes an ore manipulation now, which is very useful. So super excited to use him. And then I think the best character out of all, like this guy, before the update his 6+ were already super impressive with the updated multipliers and such. But now they also decided to bump him even further from a 4.0 multiplier as a base to a 4.75, and then you can go up to a 5.25 if you hit with a quick and then psi in that order. And he also heals for every perfect you land. So this guy is he's like a one-man army, and that's because of his special here. You get the damage reduction and threshold damage reduction by 3 turns. It went up from 2 turns. So now you can essentially have access to 12 turns of damage and threshold damage reduction. And then you have a total orb manipulation. And he still retains his quick and psi attack boost. But then if you already have an attack boost on, then you will get a slot boost on top of that. That's why this guy is a one-man army. So definitely a priority unit to have and to invest in. So if you have dupes, save them for him, don't sell them. Then we have the Lagraffi. He was the king back then. He's impressively 4 times attack after a good perfect chain. But then it wasn't good enough later on, but now he starts at a base multiplier of 4, which is fine. But then after good perfect chain, you will have a 5.25, which is very relevant. You can combine this with the Vivi Rebecca chain lock with their swap each turn. So you you won't lose a lot of damage prior to the to the last hits. So a very cool update. He also have the reduce special charge on by 2 for crew, so you won't have to be stalling a lot if you use him as a captain. And he's special for what it does. It's a 5 turns for a nuke, a cooler see the special charge reducer, and also a orb depletion, which is very, very impressive. But the weird thing is his limitation. They put only 5 specials max restriction, including him. So if you use him, you can use 4 more specials that turn. But yeah, very cool unit. But a note to the newer players though, maybe not all of you can limit break them and level limit break them all the time, like all your units, because they're super expensive and their mats are like either dupes or the specific new materials that are super limited. So my tips is to do not get disappointed because you cannot max them out the instant you get them. It should be a long time investment, and it also costs a lot of berries, so you have to be very thoughtful on how you use them, how to prioritize your materials, and also the Grand Voyage as one of the introduced new main game modes. You reach it by coming to the world map here. You press the world map, and then the upper right corner you have the Grand Voyage. You press it, and then you enter here. So these missions are by no means easy, and therefore you should also not get disappointed because you cannot clear them as the instant to release. So you will have to. They require a very specific solution, and you should not get disappointed if you cannot clear them. And also, let's see, because these guys are very, costly to upgrade. You should be careful which unit you prioritize to upgrade. So, since I already have Sengoku, a lot of deals of him, I thought I will both expand him and also level limit break him to 150. And the cost of this is, I think it's let's see here, power up Sengoku, level limit break. So I have a lot of deals of him. I think you need 9 of him. And then you can I think I will just give him like this. Oh no, like this. Like this. So he have his limit break. Let's see here. So whatever. Let's see the cost here to upgrade him further. Let's see. No, the XP, it's this one. I saw some images that you require a lot of XP. It's like, how many do we even need? We need like 400, 450. Oh boy, 450 lobsters, which is, oh man, it's like 15 million XP, which is quite hefty. Yeah, as I said before, like newer players won't be doing this anytime soon, but so that therefore you should you should like be careful for what you invest on, because even I cannot do a lot of these characters at once, at least. So yeah, I think that's what I had to say. Oh yeah, and my thoughts on this, that it costs so much. I think some of you may not agree with me, but the thing is, when you play this game for so long as me, you will feel like there's nothing to do anymore, and because you have a lot of mats, so when you pull a new character, you don't need to you don't need to hesitate to invest your mats on them, and I can just limit break him and give him all the required tablets for him, and then he will be rainbow, and then that's that with that unit. But with this new update, I get back the old feeling, like for 7 years ago, like when your resources are limited and you have to prioritize what you use them on, and the feeling of not be able to max every characters, it's a refreshing feeling for me, at least. It gets me back old memories. Like I started this my journey with the Vista as my captain back in the days. I didn't know about re-rolling and such, and there were no guides and stuff, so you had to go in blind, and Rista was my first character I pulled and used as a captain, and I couldn't even evolve him for like 1 month, I think, because there were no, I couldn't reach the required XP for him to evolve him, and then I didn't have the mats, I didn't have the berries to evolve him, and when I did evolve him to his 5-star, I did not have the required turtles back then to max him, because there were no princess turtle, there were only like, you had only access to these small turtles, and then you have also access to the middle turtles, but the turtle stages you could like drop 1 or 2 of these, 1 at least, and if maybe 2 if you were lucky, you could get 2 of these turtles. But the thing is, back in the days, you had to wait for the time for the when they spawn. Like I think it was like 2 times a week, 4 times a week, 2 times that day, but they were like a 30 minutes interval where you had to catch them, and it were different for every person depending on their ID number, and sometimes mine were always on the middle of the night, so I couldn't farm these turtles back then. So yeah, and with this new update that limits our progression because of math and such, it really brings back old memories and some of the joy that I miss, and I think it's a very appreciated update. So that's what I have for this video, and you should look forward to my clears on the new Grand Voyage content. I will try to make as many teams as possible, and I will try to voice over the videos so you know what I'm doing. And yeah, thanks for watching if you watch all this way to this point of the video, and yeah, see you next time.